everybody, Alex the Pro here from Expert Forex, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about scams, and we're going to be looking at some really monstrous scams that are happening right now as we speak, and you need to look at them to make sure that you are not being taken in by them. So let's have a look. What is a scam? A scam is basically a dishonest scheme for making money, often involving tricking people. Now notice it's not an illegal scheme, it's a dishonest scheme, slightly different, but if you take it all into account, it actually becomes illegal because it becomes a scam. So there's a very fine line there, and a lot of people also confuse scams with spam and all kinds of things, but that is what we're going to be looking at today. It's dishonest schemes for making money, often involving tricking people, and we're going to see some huge tricks that happen. Really a change of subject, because what we are going to look at now might be depressing to a lot of people, and I have a couple of things that I read quite regularly to inspire me and lift my spirits and things like that. And one of the things that I read is the Desiderata. A lot of people won't know it. It's a poem that was written that really guides you in terms of your life and what you should be doing and right and wrong and all that kind of thing. And just an extract from the Desiderata. It says, "Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real position in the changing fortune of times." And just a note there, a lot of people get so taken in by Forex trading, they want to give up their jobs and become a full-time trader. Your career is a real position in the changing fortunes of time. But then it goes on and says, "Exercise caution in your business affairs." Now, Forex trading is a business affair. "For the world is full of trickery," and we're coming back to the scam definition almost there. But very important, do not let this blind you to what virtue there is. What it's saying is, if you just look at the negative in everything, you won't see the virtues or the positive sides of things that there is. And then many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Now, what I take out of that is that a lot of people are so enthusiastic that they blind themselves. They literally blind themselves, and they do not read the marketing material properly. They read what they want, but not what has been written. Please, we find a lot of people do not read what is written. They read what they want to know. Now, you can go and find the Desiderata at this link. Again, the link will be in the description of the video and also in the commentary of the video. But I'm getting pretty old these days, and one of the things that comes out of the Desiderata is, "Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth." And again, I must say the Desiderata is full of wisdom, and I really love that poem. There's another one, Polonius giving his son parental advice, and it really is something worth reading. It's a pretty long thing. It comes out of Hamlet, and Shakespeare was an unbelievably clever person. And one of the things it says, and it's quite famous, "To thine own self be true. Be a man of honor and integrity. Live life in a way that consent you to look at yourself in the mirror and not be ashamed." Now again, because of the topic we're going to cover today, come to this part and come and read it again. Go and look up Hamlet and read that. It's always very inspiring. I love reading it because it is also a checklist for your life. All right, so let's start with the bad stuff. So here's number one bad stuff. Here, the Forex broker stole $5,000 in 3 minutes. Now, it really happened, and I was lucky enough to actually record what happened. And luckily this played a part in putting this broker completely out of business. The broker is no more. So what happened is I ran a competition. The winner of that competition was just literally printing money, and I contacted the winner, and we got together and I looked at his EA that he had, and then I rewrote it. It is now available as the Candlestick Trader. You can actually buy it. Just Google it and you can buy it. And I then traded a session where I traded $5,000 to well over $1 million. And I made a video of that, and everybody got quite excited about that. And they then said, come on, let's trade live money. And I said, no, I'm pretty sure this is a scam broker. He's going to take our money. And so what I did is I arranged for a lot of our clients to put $50 in as a donation, and they all donated $50, and we got up to $5,000. And I then traded this EA that I had been using on a live account. And then this video shows you what happened. Within 3 minutes, the broker stole that $5,000. Literally stole. I mean, there's no excuse. There's no subtlety. They literally stole, and they blamed the market for what happened. And luckily I recorded everything, and they went out of business pretty soon after that. And here's again, if you Google the broker, I'm number 1 there, and that's part of the reason why they went out of business. Anyway, here's another video that I made. This trader claims to have made 2.5 million, and that's not the trader. I just put the picture in to make it look interesting. But it was on a live broker account, so don't think live accounts are so fantastic. Any MT4 broker can do with that MT4 platform what they want to do. They can create false live accounts. They can create all kinds of things. So if you have a license or a brand, or you have a copy of the platform that you can use, you can do all kinds of things. And here's a case where the broker and whoever it was working together, and they created a live account for the person so that the person could pull lots of money in that, so that they can cheat them out of the money. Anyway, this was also one of those videos, and it had 27,000 hits, and it was quite an interesting video. And the warning is in that particular video. A lot of people miss the warning because they see what they want to see. They don't see what is actually shown. The videos are a warning not to use the broker. Well, let's have a look at some of the big guys now. For FX here has always been one of the big players in the market. When I started out, it was the big player in the market. I used to trade FXCM and all that, and even then, even they have gone through a lot of court cases where they have manipulated trading to their advantage. Here's a fairly recent one, and they've used algorithmic trading to go do stop hunting and all kinds of other things, actually trading against their own clients, and that wasn't very nice. So it happens even in the big organization, the ones with really good PR. I mean, they were on NASDAQ. It's huge companies still play these games, and one has to be very careful of that. And that is why sometimes when I suspect something, I actually record transaction, and it is to my advantage when I do that. All right, but there are a lot of real guys out there trying to help everybody to succeed in Forex trading. And what is sad is that a lot of people give the industry a really bad name by calling everything that they touch scams. And the reason why they do is because they cannot make money using either the tool or the technique that has been taught. I've been in the Forex business for over 16 years now, and it all boils down to lack of knowledge by the user, lack of experience by the user, lack of skill, lack of patience. They test the EA for 1 week and say it's rubbish, whereas it's meant to be traded over 12-month periods. They've got unrealistic expectations, and a lot of those unrealistic expectations do not come from the marketing organization. They come from the person themselves. They create their own expectations. So be careful of this. Do not create your own expectation. Read what is written. Read objectively the facts, and don't build up your own expectations. They do not take responsibility for their own actions. Any seller of an EA or promoter of a Forex trading technique has no control over how that EA will be used once traders use it. There are many reasons why things fail. Traders use the wrong currencies, they use the wrong settings, they use the wrong position sizing. There's just hundreds of reasons why failure happens. The Forex market is not easy, and you have to be exceptionally good to do well in the Forex market. So I'm just going to go through what we do at Expert Forex quickly. It's just a short one. Basically, we provide optimized settings for all of our EAs to be traded on currencies and indexes. And quite honestly, optimized settings are nothing more than saying these EAs have good potential. That's all that an optimized setting does. It isn't plug the setting in and you'll make that amount of money. Not at all. It's all optimized settings just say, look, we've tested this EA and it is a profitable EA. That's all it does. The settings themselves aren't of much value because they apply to the period that the testing occurred. They do not apply into the future. And that's just a general thing about Forex trading. All the techniques, all the EAs have to rely on history to become successful. They can't rely in the future because nobody knows the future. So they look back in the past and they say, look, if we had traded this robot for the last year, this is the amount of money that you could have made using these settings. But they optimize settings, so they're also a little bit unrealistic. So optimize settings, be careful of them. There are a lot of misconceptions, and do not think for one moment that you're going to make that profit using the settings supplied by the supplier. The supplier themselves are not saying that. They are saying, in fact, there's a disclaimer on most websites which says, past performance is not indicative of future performance. But people don't listen to that. They think it's a legal requirement. It's actually a reality. Then what we did here is, what we then say is, okay, if optimized settings aren't very good, let's look at our clients trading our EA. So we created a $30,000 trading competition, and we said all of our EAs can be traded by our clients, and we offered all kinds of really good prizes for that, and all 14 of the EAs were profitably traded, and as you can see on the screen, the first 5 positions in all our 14 EAs were profitable. Now, if that doesn't tell you, that is most probably a much better indication that our EAs are robust and can be traded in a profitable way. So that's another way that we do it. Then the other way that we do it is we run monitoring accounts. Now, a monitoring account is basically trading settings on a demo account over a long period of time, because demo accounts and live accounts realistically are not that much different. And in fact, some live accounts, especially the ones I'm using, are better than demo accounts. So, people go around saying, oh, no, it's only a demo account. It's a very good representation of a live account. We've tested indexes, and you can see they're doing really, really well, in a total return of almost 80% over 120, almost 120 days. Here's a 200-day testing of monitoring accounts for Forex, and also quite a good return, a total return of 23%, which is very good. If you take into account, in this portfolio there are 500 robots, and in this portfolio there are 60 robots. Overall, these 560 robots are all profitable. Isn't that amazing? Overall, they're not all profitable, but they give a profitable result overall. So this kind of testing has much more validity than any kind of other testing. I also traded live, but I don't disclose those live accounts. I actually regard them as misleading, because I'm an expert. I don't expect you to be an expert at trading. I don't trade EAs like a set and forget EA. I actually trade them as a trading tool. So I would consistently change the settings and change the currencies and all those kind of things. So I cannot give that information to you and expect you to do the same. I've got 16 years experience in this particular area. Anyway, so that's how at Expert Forex we try and legitimize our EA results as best we can. And as I say, if you don't have knowledge or experience or all those kind of things, then you're not going to get these results. You must be realistic. It takes a time to build up experience and competence at anything in life. Anyway, so here's a really subtle example of what lots of people get taken into every day in this particular market. So they see this fantastic indicator And this indicator is something that was brought to my attention. It's out on the web at the moment. And here it goes. It says, here's the signal. Here's the red signal for a sell, green signal for a buy. Red looks very impressive. And then they put some arrows in and said, oh, there's so many pips. There's so many pips. Boom, 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 boom. And, you know, you would go out and buy this indicator and say, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And they show 1,220 pips in 6 trades. And yeah, that's pretty interesting. But let's just go one step further. So I took this indicator and I put it on my own charts, which I do. We test hundreds of indicators every year, hundreds of EAs, and we put it on the chart. And what we found is that, in fact, the results were only 260 pips, a huge difference. And the reason being, and it's a very simple reason, and you need to understand this very, very carefully, is that when an indicator gives a signal, you've got to take the closing price of the candle where the signal has been given. Or alternatively, you can take the opening price of the next candle, because that's how the way trading happens. The signal isn't given halfway through the candle. It's when the candle closes that the signal happens. So what you have to do is you've got to take the close of the candle, and then you've got to take the close of the candle there. Now, if we skip back, you'll see they did nothing like that. So that trade was 290. In fact, it was only 140 because we took the close of the candle there and the close of the candle, and that then becomes the open for the next. That one, in fact, was a loss. That one, in fact, was a loss, and so on. And it was profitable in the end, but just be careful the way things are sometimes presented in the marketing material. Sometimes you need to understand decision making happens on the close of the candle, not on while the candle. And also, it's very impressive. They say, "Oh, take the deal here," or take, like this one. It looks like you're entering the deal down here somewhere. You're in fact entering it up there because that's where the candle closed. So that just this is one lesson out of this video. Always look at the close of the candle when you see the results being presented in a graphical form like this. The other thing that I do, and this is again a slightly off topic, is I try and find out how they found the signals. And quite honestly, it's very quick to do. For me, I've got the experience, I've got the knowledge, I know every single indicator in the market backwards. So I can normally explain these signals either using moving averages or momentum indicators. In this case, I explained it very quickly. I mean, literally within minutes, I explained where these signals are coming from. And what I've got there is the RSI 4 setting. That's what it is. And all they've done is that every time the setting crosses the oversold or overbought line, then they create a signal. So there you can see there's the first signal. It crossed the there's the second one. So it's first time it crossed over there. Now that second cross doesn't count because it's already in a buy. You see, when it's giving the same signal, it doesn't matter. So that's in a buy. So the next time it crossed was over there. There's our sell signal. Next time it crossed, there's our buy signal. Next time it crossed, there's our sell signal, buy signal, sell signal, and so on. So I quickly worked out what they do, and all they're really doing here is they just making it look sexy and nice and all that, and they've got these little buy pop-ups that happen, buy now. Very simple. In fact, this is a bad signal. It's a late signal. By the time it's oversold, it's quite late. If you look at these, there's always a kickback on that particular signal. You see there's the kickback, there's the kickback. Even there was a kickback. There's a kickback. That one had a small kickback there. That one had a kickback. So it's quite an interesting signal that they identified, but everyone had a little bit of a kickback. And look, Forex trading is very interesting if you know what to look at and can do these kind of things. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I haven't scared you out of this industry. Don't worry. If you have any doubts, just Google and get references on any EA that you're thinking of buying, or any indicator you intend using, or any broker that you intend, you just Google and get some talk. Be careful, take too much weight in what is published, because firstly, it's only the people that are unhappy that will post. The happy ones in general don't post. Secondly, there's a lot of competitive posting that happens. So if you don't like your competitor's EA, then you just give a really bad post there. So again, just keep a balance of what you read. Don't be scared of at the first negative post. There are a lot of people that don't have knowledge on how things works. For instance, brokers are notorious for not refunding money, and people post and say these people don't refund money. In the meantime, the broker's really regulated by the law. They have to know your ID, your address has to be being verified, and all those kind of things. And if they aren't verified, then the broker cannot repay your money. So there are sometimes legal reasons why these guys give the brokers bad ratings, where there's nothing to do with reality. As the saying goes there, exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. And there is some huge virtue in Forex trading, with the leverage, with the compounding that you can do, with the topping up that you can do. You can create incredible returns in this market. So from me, Alex Aploy, cheerio.